Dan Crow's experience as head gardener at the Governor of Michigan's residence comes in handy in his own garden in Perry, Michigan. By using perennials and a large collection of evergreen conifers, he's created a garden with year-round interest. We're in Perry, Michigan, is that right?
Correct.
Outside, not too far from Lansing, or East Lansing. And this is Zone 5.
Yes.
And the way you brought in a bright, shocking color like yellow, that's a pretty courageous thing to do.
Actually, that was Jim's idea to do that. Last year, all the plantings in the pots were chartreuse, yellow, and green. And Jim went crazy with the yellow paint, painting doors and chairs and birdhouses.
Those chairs have been multiple colors. On a whim from a magazine article, found the plans for the chairs, built them. They started out natural. They've been white, they've been yellow. The evolution to yellow is to tie in with the annuals that are planted in the containers throughout the deck. And also to correlate with that, have then painted the front door yellow, the garage door yellow, some other highlights of yellow just to pull everything together.
I like the way you've got similar colors grouped together with the different shades of green, and there's really not a lot happening with flowers right here except for this phlox, but these weeping Serbian spruce.
Correct.
Picea
nice
omarica. I have to say that name.
The nice thing about that one is some do weep straight down. This one, as the new growth starts to harden off, the branches will weep up so you can see the blue and the green. And that's the reason for the blue spruce here, to complement the blue underneath that.
Ah, well, so it was that works perfectly. And so this weeps up as it, you're right.
Exactly.
So you do get to see the
whole
blue.
branch will weep up as it hardens off.
Wow.
So you see both.
And did you stake these as young trees, or
No.
they were already that? Sometimes with weeping trees are grafted and you have to stake them to get them going.
Right.
These are grand, and I bet they look good in the winter landscape.
They look beautiful. The snow looks great on them. Surrounded by pines, the house is. If we have a storm or a blizzard or even just a heavy snow, the pines look quite beautiful.
And I like your little skirt of grasses, ornamental
Anacetum.
grasses. That's a great use of grasses. And you've got a circular driveway, but I'm so pleased that you don't have a patch of turf in the middle with a single tree. You've got a beautiful, luscious planting filled with trees and shrubs and perennials. And
Probably the Japanese maples were the first thing to go in, followed by the hydrangeas, and then just filling in holes with the perennials.
And the chartreuse calls out to me, of course.
The Annabelle hydrangea and the nepeta. Even though this Chamaecyparis is white on the tips next to the chartreuse, it kind of turns chartreuse a little bit.
You're right. That's a great Chamaecyparis,
That's Chamaecyparis snow queen.
Snow Queen. And the junipers
This
are
is the
beautiful.
Calvary carpet juniper.
Calvary carpet. And it stays that rich green all winter?
It does. It does not change color at all.
Do you have problems with spider mites,
No.
sir? So that's a good juniper for
It's
Michigan.
a great juniper. I love using that juniper. It has a nice feathery look to it.
And I just like the vibrancy of the green. And then your eye just is drawn right up to that
Concolor fir.
concolor fir. I was looking at it and I couldn't think of it. Now, what about your Annabelles? You just cut those back.
They get cut right to the ground in the springtime. We like to leave them for the winter for the cinnamon color of the dead head.
The dried seed heads are so pretty. Your fence is very inventive.
Jim and I built that just from sticks from the woods.
Now, how did you come up with the pattern?
Just started playing around with it.
Just like that
There was
geometric
no design.
shape?
We just started building it. That one is about 3 years old. Prior to that, we had a grapevine fence that was very abstract and wild.
And
That makes a nice backdrop, though, for the garden here.
it does, and all these ornamental grasses behind us.
Tall maiden grass inspired Dan to create an unusual garden feature that's fun to explore when we continue.